Welcome to Module 1. We're going to take an overview and find out how the music industry works, because you want to realize and understand how you're going to make money in this industry. Let's talk about your artist's self-image for a second. A lot of times I meet with people who don't consider themselves an artist only because they're behind the scenes and not necessarily singing or songwriting, but they're more of the producer or engineer, or they're making beats on their phone. And what I want to say to that is you have to understand that you are an artist. If you're involved anyway in the music making process, then you need to take ownership of the role you play in connecting people through your music. So understand that you're an artist. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be speaking to you as the artist and knowing how you in this industry will actually collect from the music that you're going to be making. And you do that with royalties. So artists get paid by royalties, with the exception of being hired for specific projects or gigs. That's a work for hire. Say, hey, I want to hire you to perform at my cousin's birthday party, so you'll just get paid to do exactly that. But when music starts to circulate out there and you start getting traction, which we'll talk about later on, you start to collect money in different formats, in different ways. And that one of the ways is through royalties. Not to be confused with music licenses. We'll talk about that later. Are the payments that go out to artists when their work is used in some capacity. So royalties are paid for several different forms of licensing and usage, including mechanical, public performance, synchronization, and print music. So let's spend time talking about the first type of royalty, and that is performance royalties. Generally, royalties are paid once the copyrighted work is broadcast or performed in any way. And then performance rights organizations, that's what PRO stands for. In North America, we have BMI, ASCAP, SESAC, Sound Exchange. These organizations go around and collect royalties whenever the song is performed. So you write a song, and technically the moment you have it on any tangible form, you've recorded it on your phone, you sent a voice memo to yourself, you've played it in your DAW, you've got it all arranged, you've exported it. Well, technically, you've already have a copywritten form of work. And that's according to the US copyright laws. And then once you have that piece of work, that song that you've written, well, the moment it gets performed or broadcasted, if you align yourself with any of these performance rights organizations, they will collect that for you. Now, keep in mind that if you're not based in the US, you will have to check to see what local performance rights organizations you would have to be affiliated with. If you're in Germany, it would be GEMA. If in Italy, there's your own local PRO. So definitely do some research and discover what your local PRO, performance rights organization, is. And take the next steps that you have to take so that you can become affiliated with them. So in case any of your music is in any one of these categories, such as live performance and broadcast, which is radio and TV, digital performances such as streaming and satellite radio, or even public performances such as in bars, clubs, restaurants, and some supermarkets, you will get your money collected by the PRO from these different areas. So that's the performance royalty. That's one of the royalties that artists will collect. Next comes the mechanical royalties. This could be a little bit confusing, so I'll do my best to break it down as simple as possible. But mechanical royalties are the royalties paid to a songwriter whenever a copy of one of their songs is made. For instance, when a record label presses a CD of your song, you are due a mechanical royalty. And this is in place so that if you hand over your song to a record label, it's against the law for them to just make a bunch of copies of it, and then they get paid off of all the copies that they've made and only paid you once for that one master that you gave them, and then they're duplicating 5,000 of them, and they're not giving you any of that money. So every time they duplicate or make a copy, or there's a digital download of a song that you've created, they need to pay you the license for that. It's a mechanical royalty. So the second I make a copy of the song or the album you gave me, I have to give you a royalty fee for that. So a mechanical license grants the rights to reproduce and distribute copyrighted musical compositions, songs. on CDs, records, tapes, ringtones, permanent digital downloads, interactive streams, and other digital configurations supporting various business models, including locker-based music services and bundle music services. If you want to record and distribute a song that you do not own or control, or if your business requires the distribution of music that was written by others, you need to obtain a mechanical license. So, pretty straightforward. In order to prohibit someone from taking your music and making a bunch of copies of it and selling them at the out of the trunk of their car and not paying you a dime, well, they owe you mechanical royalties. They got to pay you a royalty for every duplication of that product. Okay, so then what are the rates for those mechanical royalties? Well, currently the law states that there's a statutory royalty rate. So for each digital download, limited download, interactive streaming, and ringtones, there's a specific rate that needs to get paid as a mechanical royalty. So currently right now, and this has changed throughout the years, and it changes depending, so they will change the rate sometimes. But currently right now, in 2018, the rate is currently set at 9.10 cents per copy for songs 5 minutes or less. And then you add an additional 1.75 cents per minute or fraction thereof per copy for songs over 5 minutes. So the statutory mechanical royalty rate for ringtones is 24 cents per copy. So it's pretty good there for the ringtones. So that might be an interesting market to focus in on. And then streaming rates, well, they all depend on different factors. But the streaming mechanical royalties can range anywhere from 0.006 and 0.0084, and this all depends on the different digital streaming platform. So for instance, here's a chart representing some of the streaming services. Spotify is at the top with the most subscribers, and you see Apple, iTunes, Pandora, Google, Amazon, and you can see right next to it their current average stream payout for the mechanical royalties. So Spotify is at 0.00397, Apple iTunes 0.0783, and so it varies, as you can see. YouTube is actually pretty low here if you see 0.00074. So it all depends on the specific streaming service and the amount of subscribers they have and the way it's all broken down. But on average, this is what you're pretty much looking at. And we have all these different services here that you can see that are all around the world. We have iHeartRadio, which is pretty good. It's pretty much like a satellite radio, and you can see the payout here. So 0.01318. So depending on where the song is being played or being duplicated or streamed will depend and determine on the mechanical royalty that's issued to you. So how mechanical royalties collected then? Who's going out there to collect these royalties that you are due? Well, many songwriters make the major mistake of thinking that because they are members of BMI, ASCAP, or SESAC, or any other PRO, that they will be paid mechanical royalties. It's not true. To get paid your mechanical royalties, you must be registered for a separate collection society that specifically works on mechanicals. In the US, this is a group called Harry Fox Agency, but each country has its own group. If you anticipate collecting royalties internationally, then you must be registered with the groups in each country in which your music is available. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for me as the artist? So if you're releasing music on your own and you're using services like TuneCore, DistroKid, AWAL, CD Baby, etc., they will collect a mechanical royalty on your behalf, and they'll split the revenue from the collection depending on the service they provide. So different companies will have a different setup. So for instance, DistroKid is one that I like using because it's a simple flat fee. If you pay them about $25 a year, they'll render all the mechanical royalties that they collect. They just give that straight to you. You're paying them $25 for their membership, and they'll hand over straight to you the mechanical royalties. TuneCore will do something probably a little bit different, meaning where they'll take a certain percentage of what comes in. Same thing with AWAL. AWAL won't charge anything up front, but they will take 15% of what comes in through the mechanical royalties. But these different organizations or companies, they will go out and collect it on your behalf, so that you don't actually necessarily need to be signed to a publishing deal or an admin deal to do that. But you can also do that as well. You can sign with a publishing company. That specific purpose is to going out and collecting the mechanical royalties and other type of royalties on your behalf, and then they split whatever they collect and take a portion of that and then hand that over to you. So like myself, I'm currently in a deal with a company called Cobalt, and they administer my royalties. So they'll go out throughout the whole world. They'll talk to all the different performance rights organizations. They'll talk to all the different mechanical royalty companies, and they'll say, hey, do you have anything that's owed to Illfactor? We need to collect that on his behalf. So they'll go out, do that, and every quarter they give me a printout saying, this is what we've collected, this is what we owe you, we'll take 10% out, and then you can keep the rest. So those are the things. So now I've mentioned publishing, and that brings us to another tricky subject. So let's go ahead and dive into that.